welcome to the Wealthy Lala show with myself, Laurie Laursen. Today is episode 187. I forgot yesterday to put the numbers 186 in yesterday's show. Every once in a while I notice I do that. Well, today is 187. You are here. You are listening. You are tuning in. So I ended yesterday's show with talking about a fuel tank and talking about where are you? Like, how filled up are you with thoughts, feelings, and emotions that are actually creating for you, that are creating greater for you? So, like I said, imagine yourself with a gas tank, gauge, okay? It's a half dome shape. And so on the left-hand side is the zero, you're empty, okay? And then, you've got the quarter of a tank, and then you in the middle, you're just sort of, that's a not really negative, not really positive. You're just kind of coasting through life. It's not really creating anything either way. You're just, and, you know, so then you've got 3/4 of a tank to the right, and then you've got full. And full is when you're living, full. I don't know if anybody can actually live on full. So, like, let's just put that out there right now that, life is, life's going to have stuff. Life's going to come up. Life is going to bring stuff forward. And you got to know that life is going to bring stuff. The universe, God, source, divine, whatever you want to call it, is going to bring stuff to you based on your asks too. So if you're asking for more inner strength and then you go to work and you need to stand up to your boss and you think, damn, what am I doing standing up to my boss? I hate that I have to stand up to my boss. If you ask, I wonder what's right about this. I did ask for more inner strength. Standing up to my boss, talking to my boss, asking a question to my boss or whatever person that is in your life, how much is that actually going to create you creating inner strength in your life? And it's something for you to create and choose for you. And then, when we have those experiences, those are things that are unforgettable. I just recently had someone who was not choosing kindness to me at all. No, they were getting really defensive, and I don't know what it was exactly in their world. I can guess, but whatever it was, they weren't being kind to me. And I just stopped, and because I now know that I don't have to take that anymore. And so I just stopped, and I said to the person, I said, "What is that?" The person backed down. They didn't say anything. They didn't address it, which is, again, whatever it is in their world. But for me, you're not going to treat me unkindly. You want to work with me? I don't do unkindness. Sorry. Doesn't work for me. To receive it or to give it now, people. That goes both ways, okay? So, anyways, and these are things I will tell you that are so much easier to recognize when you are living above a half a tank, okay? So, imagine and I'm going to sort of be working this out as I'm talking about it, okay? So, I get that as I talk about this more, it's sort of going to fine tune it. So you're kind of getting the new beginnings of something on how I'd like to look at and what feels like a way to work for me to sort of grasp this concept of, where are you emotionally living? Like, what kind of emotions, what kind of feelings do you have going on in your body? Because as Dr. Joe says, Dr. Joe Dispenza, the quantum field responds not to what we want, but it responds to who we're being. And you got to learn to be really honest with yourself and ask yourself, like, who are you being? Like, what are you being? What energies are you being? Now, this is not a judgeable thing. This is not a judgeable exercise, people. Okay? This is something to just really start being an invitation. And if you have to have a little sticky notes around you saying, do not judge myself while I do this, then please do that. I've done a lot of work in that area because I remember doing things like this. I couldn't do this without judging myself. I only knew how to judge myself. And that's why I get and I can really perceive the difference of choosing an exercise like this without judgment, choosing an exercise like this with judgment. Big difference. All right. Awarenesses come when you choose it without judgment. Kindness for yourself comes when you choose without judgment. So see if that's something that you can do. And, maybe on the gas tank or the gas gauge of judging yourself, maybe you're still at a 50%. So that's okay. Just be like, yay, I could have been way worse than someone who was at zero, always did it before, right? Like someone like me. So you're ahead of the game. So anyways, if you take and you look like, you're going through life, something comes up and you feel a lot of frustration. Okay. If you're easy to get frustrated, like, is there an emotion that you really, or something that you get easily triggered by? For me, discouragement was one. Okay. So before, I would say my discouragement with things, I was rocking probably an 80%. Okay. So you can imagine if I've got that and I'm being that. So the thing is, people, is when you have these emotions going on in your body, these thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and they're locked in your body and you're not aware, your body is actually still responding to it and watching for it like a hawk. Okay. Our bodies, they adore us. They are looking to keep us safe. And if you are familiar with the fight or flight, analogy, where it's like, okay, you're ready, you're on guard to protect yourself from things that are discouraging or watch for things that are discouraging, you're actually in the energy of being discouraging. And you are actually asking the universe to please surprise and delight me with more things that are discouraging. When I first heard that, I was like, what? Stop the presses, rewind. I need to hear that again. And then I needed to hear it again. And I needed to hear it again. And Abraham Hicks, that I love listening to on YouTube, when they talk about it, they say there is no assertion. So nobody asserts into your life. This might be really hard to hear, people, because boy, it was hard for me. I am not going to lie. This was really hard for me. This even made me a little nervous sharing it with you because of the fact that most of us are so used to other people creating our happiness or our unhappiness that we then go into judgment if we think any of this is anything about us. So if someone is mean to me and someone says to me, well, Laurie, there's no assertion. So they don't assert into your life. It's just attraction. You're actually attracting that. I would have been and have been in the past really mad at that. It's like, what? I didn't ask for that. I would have truly, well, actually I did in my head. More often in my head, I actually said that. And I went, I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for their unkindness. I didn't ask for them to be whatever. And what I've since discovered is that the energy that I am vibrating at, that I am being in my body and in my energy field, it's like if I am thinking that there's not nice people out there, I keep sort of focusing and watching and protecting myself from not nice people. What am I actually really focusing on is not nice people. And our universe is an attraction based, it has no point of view. It brings you what you are being and what you're focusing on. And that, honestly, that's what I was doing. I was in survival mode. I was looking around. Okay, look at, they're not being nice. Oh, they're not being nice. Oh, they're not being nice. Oh, they're not being nice. Because I was doing it to protect myself from people who were not being very nice. And what it ended up creating was the energy of not being nice in my world. And the universe is like, oh, honey, that's what you'd like more of? Okay. And then I would get more of not nice people. I'm not kidding about this. You guys might want to listen to this show again. It's like you get it when you get it too. This might even be really hard to listen to. That's actually really funny. Yet in yesterday's show, I talked about Brene Brown, and she actually had people come up to her and say, I actually didn't like you very much. And she's like, oh. And I can get a show like this creating people being like, Laurie, I ain't listening to that shit. Nope, nope, nope. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want to hear it. Those people, they are the problem. Well, at least if it isn't all people, it's at least those people are. Okay, I know that too well. I really, really do. And if I can invite you guys to a new possibility with this, like, what actually made me choose it? Was that staying in the victim to everything else? I finally got tired of it. I finally got tired of being a victim of circumstance, other people, and I found that me being a victim, it actually didn't change anything. So part of it was the fact that I got tired of it, and part of it was the fact that I just went, okay, I really have tried this. I've got to try something else. And as much as I hate the idea that there is no assertion, so that means that if I've got things around me that ain't working for me, what am I being that is creating that? Am I either focusing too much on people not being nice around me? Am I focusing too much about other people judging others? I've done that too. Again, another safety mechanism. Doesn't work very good, people. Take it from me. And if you guys are ahead of the game with me on this, high five. I'm high fiving you with both hands, okay? I was a little slow in this department. And I'm okay with noting that now. So, yeah. So, anyways, look at where you are on the gas gauge, okay? Where are you on your emotional gas gauge, fuel gauge, emotional fuel gauge? Yeah. Are you at, and keep in mind too, is that you can be at different places with different things. Like I made a decision with my kids and my grandkids that I am staying out of their business. So when my emotional fuel gauge around them is strong, like I'm probably for the most part sitting at an 80%. I'm like at least 3/4 full when it comes to that. Now with other people in my life, man, I was at a 5%. So I would be automatically looking for things to judge them for, to be disappointed about, to be victim to. I had a very, very, very well-built muscle. And and so what do you do with this? It becomes a choice. It becomes an actual choice to take your gas gauge, your emotional fuel gauge, and if it's at 5%, you bring it up. And then you bring it up, and you bring it up, and you bring it up. Now, you guys, Abraham Hicks in their book Ask and It's Given, they have an emotional scale that I actually printed out. And so, like, say if at the bottom of the scale, okay, I'm looking for discouragement. Discouragement is number 16 out of 22. So if I was sitting in discouragement, what I would want to try and do, so say I'm at 5% and I'm sitting in discouragement, I would need to bring myself out of that. So what could I tell myself, excuse me, that would give myself some relief from the feeling of discouragement? Okay. I'm not sure how I'm going to change this, but I've seen other things change. So I'm just going to allow myself to know that there's a possibility of change. So that little bit creates relief. This is never going to change. That feels heavy. That's not creating relief. I don't have to have this all figured out today. That's creating relief. I may not have ever had this change and seen evidence of this changing in my life, but I've seen other people choose it. Maybe it's possible for me. That's a choice of relief. It'll never change for me. I won't ever be able to change this. Now that's heavy. That doesn't allow me to move up. So it's a matter of moving yourself up to your emotional fuel gauge and getting yourself to a place. And believe it or not, according to Abraham and Abraham Hicks, that blame, which is why it feels better or feels good at times, is actually a better place. It has relief in it above discouragement. Then worry is actually above that. Doubt is above that. Now, the interesting thing is any of these things, you want to be aware of the energy that they actually create in your world, and is that where you want to stay? So you may be in a place of hatred, which is, say, 19 on their scale, moving up the scale to discouragement, okay? But sitting in the energy of discouragement gives you that little hit, or say blame, if you go up the scale to blame, that's going to give you a hit. But if you actually just take a minute and sit in the energy of blame and see what you perceive in your body, it may have taken you out into relief out of the discouragement, but then do you want to keep going? Do you want to keep moving into, say, doubt? Okay, well, maybe I doubt that this actually works, but at least then you're not in blame anymore. Well, now I'm feeling really frustrated because I've been so doubtful so often. Oh boy. Okay, well, then allowing yourself to just sort of move up the scale. Man, this subject had so much information in it. It's already at 16 minutes. Ah! Oh, okay. I just may choose to continue on this with tomorrow's show, and yeah, we'll just see. We're going to see what that unfolds. I hope some of this helped you. It's helping me, get more clear. And like I told you, I'm sort of working on this and playing with it. Actually, I'm more playing with it to see what this creates and where this is all going to go. So anyways, have a great rest of your day. thewealthylala@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.